Hi, my name is Carrie Locken with Coordinations Colorcore Cardstock. Today I'm going to show you how to make this home banner. It's a home decor project, and we're going to use what I've done to make the panels for each of these pieces is I've used some Spellbinders die. It's called Labels 8, and I've also used the flower shapes. So what I've done is I've already pre-cut two of the shapes, and the paper that I've used is from Jenny Bolin, the Red and Brown collection, which has the large dots, and then I've also used the Brown and Cream collection, which has this nice red posy paper on it. This brown paper is from the Cosmo Cricut Classic collection. So what I've done already is I've gone ahead and pre-cut the brown panel, and if you take a look at these, you can see that this is the back of each panel, the brown one. So what I'm going to do is just sand lightly around the edges. I don't need to sand on the inside, just around the edges. Only part we'll see. You just sand it till you like how it turns out and dust off the dust. And then with the cream colored one, what I've done is I have cut it out with a smaller size so that it lays over top of the brown nicely. And I've outlined with a little brown marker a stitch line. So I'll just finish that off as I've done a little bit of it already. So just some little pencil lines, marker lines, sorry, stitch marks. And then what you're going to do is just take that and adhere it straight onto the brown. Get it on there till it's centered nicely. So that's what we have. Now what we're going to do is cut out one of our small panels, which will spell out the word home. So on each panel, I've cut out of a tan color. And then what I've done with that is taken chipboard letters. Now any ones that you don't use anymore, I mean we've all got a collection of chipboard letters. So what I've used is some Maya Road chipboard letters. And I take my mat, I just put a little bit of adhesive on my chipboard letter just so that it stays in place. Lay it flat on my mat. Then I take my piece of cardstock that I've cut already, and I'm going to lay it on there. Another way to do it if you want it to be centered is to put the chipboard, hold it onto the back of your cardstock first so you know it's centered, and then you can lay it down flat. Then what I do is I take my sanding block and I just carefully rub over that raised chipboard letter that you can feel on the ground, on the mat. And you'll see it start to take shape. So there's the O. And what I do is I'll just go around the edges, bring out a little bit of the core, the lighter color. Wipe it off a bit. And then I want this shape of this letter. It's best to use a removable cardstock adhesive. Take that brown marker again, and I'm just going to lightly trace around the image that I sanded. Take it off, and there's our finished panel. So this panel, I will use some pop dots, foam dots, and adhere it to the center of our larger panels. So there we have it. And now, to add a little bit of color, we're going to add some flowers. And this is where I've used this red posy cardstock. I've cut one out already, the larger one. And I'm going to cut a smaller one out as well. So I think most of your cutting die cut systems will use these Spellbinders dies. So again, you're going to sand these. Both of them. And then what I've done to give them a little bit of dimension is I've put my thumb and forefinger holding it, the flower, and I've taken my other thumb and forefinger from my other hand, and I'm going to gently bend the petals towards me. Just kind of pulling them and lifting them. So that's one, and I'll do the same thing with the larger flower. Be gentle because you don't want to tear it. I just did a little bit there. So you want to go slow and gently. You can also use pencils to do this, but I'm doing it towards me, so I just want a very gentle look. So then what you do is use another pop dot to adhere the smaller flower to the larger one. And I kind of lined them up the same instead of going, separating them a little bit. Then I've added a button in the center when I added mine together. Once you've got the flower cluster together, then you just simply adhere it to your panel. Then I finished off by punching a hole at the top edge, the center part here, and I added an eyelet as well, and then threaded some string through it, some ribbon, two kinds of ribbon, and a button, and that's how I attached the 4 panels together. Now you could do the word love, you could do a variety of different words, home sweet home, spell out your last name, your family name. So there's a variety of ways to make this nice home decor banner. So that's the finished product, and thank you for taking the time to watch the video on making this home sweet home banner, and we look forward to seeing what you create with Coordinations.